Before we begin, I just need to make it clear. The opinions I express today are of my opinion. There'll be many who are of the same opinion, reference what we're going to look at. I don't stand for any groups or establishments or pantomime companies. I'm just me, and I'm speaking for me. But many will be on board with what I've got to say. Essentially, we're going to get a look into the mind of the online globagandist today. The online globagandists are people who represent the globe online and try and defend the absurdity that is the globe. They have a totally different mindset to your average people you'll meet in the street who believe they live in a globe. You make a valid point to someone in the street and provide practicality, they'll get it. They won't deny reality, they'll acknowledge it. You do that online, you'll get met with a barrage of stories, explanations, cartoons, sophistry, anything but acknowledge it or offer up something to refute it, something that resembles science. And as a result now, we've got globagandists posing questions to their fellow globagandists, asking what's the best way to deal with people like Level Earth Observer. I mean, without even looking at your questions, some demonstrable science might have helped, mate. But let's have a look. Let's enter the mind of the online globagandist.
1. When we confront a specific flat earther's video, do we risk raising the prominence of that person and the subject of flat earth by increasing their YouTube ranking? Is this a necessary evil and we simply must address their claims? Is there a typo? Fix that. Is there another effective way to address their claims without that drawback?
YouTube ranking. Have a word with yourself, fella. Again, I think you're getting confused with the globe philosophy, which is materialism. It's all about the ego. You're getting confused with people like myself who are not like that whatsoever. We walk a different path because we see clearer and truer. And the fact you're going on about ranking rather than addressing someone like myself with some kind of practical reference or some real science that can be viewed by everyone is kind of revealing in itself. You're more worried about what other people are going to think rather than addressing the claims. And again, like I said, it's kind of telling, isn't it? This globagandist materialistic mindset ruled by the ego. Oh, YouTube rankings, t-shirt sales, mug, coffee cups, pencil cases for sale, PayPal's, adverts, anything but demonstrable truth. Jesus.
2. Google shows the search term flat earth continuing to drop. Do we work against that trend when we do debunk videos? Should we be stopping or cutting back with the debunk videos, or do we try to bury it under an avalanche of facts?
Avalanche of facts. Have a word with yourself, mate. Dear, oh dear. And can we really trust Google and their statistics, given Google's history? I mean, come on. Particularly when we're talking about a subject like the flat earth, which brings the whole pantomime and charade down, just based on that one fundamental truth that can be proven by everyone on earth. The censorship's gone through the roof. We've got distractions thrown at us left, right and centre. I wouldn't be surprised if stats are there as well to deflate people, give them the false impression that somehow living on a cannonball's got some credibility. Again, this avalanche of facts. Mate, I think you mean avalanche of excuses, explanations, stories. There's nothing factual about the globe. It can't be demonstrated in any shape or form. I mean, debunk vids. Globe debunk vids are essentially propaganda videos that will highlight a mistake or anything that someone's done that could even be totally irrelevant and nothing wrong with it. It will do anything but provide some practical science, something that backs the claims. So I don't know where you're getting your avalanche of facts and your debunk vids. They're propaganda videos, mate, and they're an avalanche of stories and explanations, all based on silly assumptions. Can you see already? Question 2. We're dealing with reality deniers. Again, I'm speaking for myself. I space bash. But when I'm talking about the shape of the earth, the things I stand by are the things that can be demonstrated and proven by every single person on earth. I get people try to challenge me to a debate. How can you debate reality? You can't. That shows you these people are fucking insane.
The graph shows the last 5 years.
Yeah, whatever.
3. How dangerous are the proponents of flat Earth? What harm do they do?
I'd say the people like myself regarding the shape of the earth who stick to fundamental facts, demonstrable reality, are extremely dangerous. Because you've got no muck to throw at me. Alright, I waver the path with my space bashing, which could give the space boys and the soy boys and all that lot a bit of ammunition to fight back and cause a bit of pantomime. But hey, anyone with any decent discernment or any common sense can see right through the bullshit and the propaganda anyway. Airfix models, docking with bog rolls. I mean, come on. Elon Musk, I mean, that, like I said, Santa Claus has more credibility. Again, question 3, coming from this globagandist. It's almost like on an unconscious level, they know they've got nothing. So they have to come up with tactics and other things. I mean, are these people insane, deluded, reality deniers, or just on task? Coming back to your question, yes, people who stick to demonstrable truth, like myself, who question the shape of the earth, we know fundamentally and demonstrably the globe is quite frankly ridiculous. So I'd say I'm quite dangerous in that sense. And the fact I can destroy your pantomime world with a crane, and the only thing the globe side can offer up in defence is murdered ping pong balls and bottles of water on a day out of Western Supermare, just shows you how ridiculous the globe science community is. And you are too, fella, with these daft questions.
4. If they are dangerous and we've decided it is necessary to go after them, is it better to focus on the handful with the largest channels and audience, or is it better to go after the many smaller channels with smaller audiences to keep them from growing?
Interesting. Again, it's tactical. Can't you address anything with science, mate? Your questions to your pals here have kind of given the game away for anyone who's on the fence here watching this, who's got the slightest bit of common sense. They'd be like thinking, hang on a minute, why aren't you addressing the people's claims, like Adam, for example, showing hundreds of feet of rope on a tower crane being dead still, proving scientifically the Earth's not spinning? Why aren't we getting any science from the globe science community to refute people like Adam? Instead, we're getting questions that are more like tactics for reality deniers. Fucking insane. Again, you shouldn't be worried if it's a big channel or a small channel. The claim is we're dealing with science and demonstrable reality, i.e. the very fundamentals and foundation of where we live. So who cares if a big channel, small channel? Again, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not here to be popular or famous or sell you t-shirts or beg. I'm here to smash to pieces a fraudulent globe and then do one. I've got better things to do. I'm entertaining this COVID nonsense on my journey. But ultimately, the only reason I'm online is because of the globe fraud that is disgusting and is the biggest conspiracy ever. So, back to question 4. No, you should again deal with the points made. If I make a demonstration, you should be able to refute me. You can. Again, all I get is tactics, questions, bottles of water and ping pong balls. Very revealing. Are all your questions tactical, mate? Because they don't seem scientific based. They seem to be more tactical based for reality deniers.
5. Many of the prominent flat earthers embrace all kinds of conspiracies. Is it more effective to go after their conspiracy mindset in a broad way by confronting their psychological issues, in a sense, to go after the root of the problem? Or is it better?
The fucking irony. A man who thinks he lives on a cannonball flying through a vacuum wants to confront people who stand by demonstrable reality regarding their psychological issues. I mean, fucking have a word with yourself, mate. Fucking hell.
Use a science debunk approach to go after each little diluted claim they make. Death by 1,000 cuts. Yes, I know we can do both, but is one preferable or more effective?
All you've got, mate, is propaganda. You do, your lot, try psychological tactics. It's like water off a duck's back with me. I just stick with what is fundamentally true. So no amount of hatred is going to bend and change reality. Sorry, you can try stretching your granny's underpants over a hula hoop, warping the space and time and all that nonsense. It's not going to change reality because it's not true. The death by 1,000 cuts, I should say, was administered to a ridiculous pantomime theory known as the globe in 2014. The fact was still here having to entertain moronic representatives of the globe online 6 years later just tells me what a good job propaganda machine the mainstream media have done. This hasn't been helped out by the debaters from both sides, particularly the supposed flat earth. All that's done is put the whole shebang back. So, it talks of psychological issues, this guy. Talks of deluded claims people make, and yet every claim I make is scientifically demonstrable and can be backed by everyone on Earth, and destroys the spinning globe as far as the shape of the Earth. I mean, this is Dunning-Kruger in full effect here. Essentially, all the globe can offer up is ad hom, sophistry, and mind games. And this guy's even aware of it. So who is this guy? And why, if he's so... Again, this is just such an interesting insight into the representative of the globe online. This is more tactics than science. He's essentially telling everyone here he's got nothing.
6. Is it more effective to go after them by trying to make them look foolish in front of their followers, by calling them stupid, flurfer, etc.? Does that strengthen or weaken the resolve of their followers? Or is it more effective to keep a calm emotional level and stick to science and objectivity, a just the facts, ma'am approach?
This guy's fucking deluded. Like the globe's got any objectivity. Oh dear. Stick to science. The science of stories, you mean. Again, you really lower your game by name calling, being abusive, acting up like some triggered pantomime artist. I'm not one to entertain that. I do not entertain that. I don't mind a bit of banter and a bit of a giggle, but when you people is just abusive and you provide no science, you're not funny, or there's no banter, nah, I don't entertain it. I find it very revealing, and it kind of exposes the globe for what it is. And again, we got 6 questions. It was more tactics than scientific approach, thus revealing to us all the globe doesn't have a scientific approach. It has a tactical approach, more about trying to attack the man or woman's mind rather than refute them with science. I know this anyway, but even, it would seem, the online representative of the globe knows it. The question is, does he know it on a conscious level or subconscious level? Is he honest or is he dishonest? I've met quite a lot online. Most of them want to sell you a t-shirt. Most of them have got PayPal and are begging. Most of them follow the materialistic philosophy, which already gives a lot away about their personality and their character traits. If you're ruled by materialism, you're easily swayed. People who are ruled by things, whether it's addiction, materialistic things, are easy puppet prey, whether they know it or not. I think we'll leave it there. Very revealing 6 questions from the globe side. I don't represent anything other than what is demonstrably true as far as the shape of the earth. No man or woman or no amount of tactics or daftness is ever going to refute me or the people like myself who stand by what is fundamentally true. And those truths annihilate in the most scientific, demonstrable way the globe pantomime earth theory.